Hi, everybody. My name is Justina Osowska, the founder of Women in Blockchain Canada. I am here joined by David, who is a GEMACH user. How are you doing, David?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for coming. As you know, we're into helping to manage risk and also to learn about how people can scan for new tokens so that they're not rugged and that they can see more of what they're looking at and how they can manage their risk. So I'll let you present how you use the GEMACH dashboard to look at coins within the markets.
Okay. So what I'm basically doing is I'm going to GDEX Pro, which is the current address. Um, Let me put some.
Mm-hmm. I made you the host so you can go ahead and present your screen when you're ready.
Let's get that up. Okay. So I think so. There's the GDEX Pro. Is it is the screen's there?
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Okay. And the way I'm basically using the GDEX is to set up filters, because as you know, there's a lot of launches, especially on the Solana chain. So it's usually best to at least use some kind of filters to help kind of catch the more newer launches. And let me just pop those up. Currently, I've got a minimum market cap set at around 12,000. I usually set it a bit higher, but I think just because it's a weekend, I set it a bit lower. And then I'll also set for the maximum in the age bracket. I usually put about 90 minutes, although I might actually make that a little bit longer. Let's say 20 minutes. Okay, and I'm going to apply that. Okay. And generally, what's good about the dashboard there is, as you can see there, it's got all the important kind of things to avoid in a bad token. Um, Usually, you'll find that they're always going to have burnt or locked liquidity and all the contract stuff's revoked. But obviously, there's this issue where you'll find that the top 10 have a large amount of supply, which usually means that as soon as the token has made the transition from pump fund to radium, when it's bonded, it usually dumps. I don't think you can really avoid that, unfortunately, but I'll try and find something a little bit more safer. Okay. So generally speaking, um, I'm not too interested in these kind of meme ones. I'll usually try and find something AI because at least I know that might do well. But because it's a Saturday, we don't really have many options.
Oh, there's one with the top 10 holders
Um,
being green and then
yeah,
every as
Tiffany.
well.
Okay, well, this looks actually quite good. The volume's not too high, which ironically, it's weird because in the old days we used to kind of chase volume, but as I found that that volume tends to be fake. A lot of times I'll use a bot to kind of do fake buys and sells to give you
Mm-hmm.
a higher figure here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the contract address then, and I'm going to drop that into Dex Screener just so I can get a slightly more clearer look. Okay, now this is This is what I call the hangman formation. I don't like these charts. They generally do like the hangman. You get the line going up where it's the gallow, and you're going to find a big red coming down in a moment. You can see that all these buys coming in. These are all bot buys because they're the same amount.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave that chart open and come back to it because I'm sure it's going to rug, but let's not lose too much time on it. Let's see if we can find anything else that does not have that chart.
There's another one there, the FB, and it's got like it
Oh,
looks
yeah,
like 138 million. That's interesting.
138 million market cap.
How's it? It's 7 minutes old. That's a
Yeah, well,
lot.
that's what's interesting there is that the volume there is basically
Mm,
non-applicable. So, and so I think we can guess it's not worth looking at. I think.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, Swarm is really swarm. Chico dog. Um, okay. Chico the dog. And there's already a Telegram and an X there as well. Okay, well, let's see if Tiffany's rubbed it. There we go. There's that hangman line I was telling you about. All right, well, let's have a look at Chico. Okay, so Chico looks quite good. I won't lie. I mean, there's good volume,
Mm.
and the general demand. There's more buys than there are sells. Buy volume's higher than sell volume. I've learned that these, not to get too carried away with the buys at the top, because a lot of that will be bot volume. But at least the sells aren't too high for now. Okay. And what we can do is we can also use one of the GEMACH tools to check if this is actually, there's any information we can get. So I'm going to go to, what's it got? The Alpha Intelligence bots. Here we go. So let's ask the bot, see if it can give us some useful information. Okay, so that's going to take a minute, I think. And while that's doing that, I just noticed actually that that's not even a pump fund, is it? It's a regular launch token because it doesn't have pump on the end there.
Mm.
Well, have a look.
So for something like this, would be worth it to look if they have a website, to look at their socials, their Discord, or anything like that.
It can be, but as I've learned, um, there's something of a danger with the website and social thing because I've found sometimes I've seen a token which I liked, and I went to the website and I didn't like it, and I didn't buy it, and then 6, 7 hours later it moved. The same thing happened to me with that Alchemist AI. I liked the chart, I liked the volume and how it looked, but then I said, let me try out the utility, which you could like build a game or build any utility just by typing the prompt. And when I tried it, I didn't really like it. And when I saw it was at around 2.5 billion market cap, and then later on it went on to about, I think it went to 20, then 50, then later on over 100 million. So that was a big mistake on my part.
Well, I mean, what I
Okay.
mean by that is some people launch these without even making a website or without even
Oh,
having a Discord. So I'm saying like what are the things people should look for? I'm not saying whether you like the website or not. I'm just saying, is that a factor that you would look into when you're looking at, looking into getting into a meme?
Definitely. I've learned that 9 times out of 10, if they haven't made a website, which I don't think this one has, yeah, no, there's only a Twitter and a Telegram. If there's only a Twitter and a Telegram, that's not a good sign, usually. That usually means it's going to be a very quick pump and dump, which is what we're seeing here, unfortunately. I thought maybe from here it might bounce, but this is going straight to zeros. Okay, well, let's see what, even though we're not going to buy it, let's see what the Alpha Intelligence told us.
And is this available for anybody, like right off the GEMACH website? Once they get on, they can click on, get the Telegram, and start using it to get information and do these commands.
Yep, all of that's available if you go to the GEMACH website, which I've got open here, and you go to products. There's token scanner, which brings all the kind of tokens which are being launched, which is a really great way to drive yourself crazy because it picks up everything and
Mm-hmm.
all the things that do well, the scanner will pick up. But the problem is there's so many launches, it can be really hard to kind of catch them. But below that here is where the Alpha Intelligence bot is. So if you just click on that, it opens up the link and you can have it here in your Telegram in a conversation and talk to it directly, which is usually what I do here. I've asked it several times about tokens, and I even sometimes, what's a neat trick to do is I'll ask you for like recommendations. So I'll say, I was doing this a few months ago when I didn't really want to spend too much time going through, dashboards and stuff. And I'll be honest, out of the five tokens, it would usually give me at least one or two of them would do really well. So we'll let that do its search. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay. Okay, well, nothing's really popping out. So I might have to adjust the filters, I think. Let's see what the AI has recommended. Tyler. Okay. It's good volume. Percent. It will be 15%. STR. Hmm. Okay, now this is the base blockchain that it's telling me now. Okay, no. I probably, yeah, that's my fault for typing wrong on the prompt. I think.
When you say that, what do you mean?
The thing is with AI, it's the irony of being too smart that when you have a conversation, you want the conversation to be worded properly. So when you ask the AI a question, it's usually good that you actually ask it a question that's intelligent rather than a general one like I did. So let me say, mm, recommend, um,
Because It was my understanding from what I saw you type in that you asked for the top five tokens likely to break out on Solana. Or did you say base?
I think I said Solana, but my mistake was not specifying Solana blockchain because that's
Oh, I see. So you have to be
I,
very specific. Understood. Got it.
well, it's not about being specific. It's about speaking intelligently. Because imagine I said to someone, I know, can you tell me five tokens on Solana? Okay, what is Solana? I need to specify, well, it's a blockchain. Okay, if I know it's a blockchain, I'll know to check that blockchain. So it's a bad habit we have from speaking too generally on it. So can you recommend maybe some tokens on Solana chain? Okay, while it's doing that, let's go back to the dashboard and let's try messing with filters. Okay, so let's increase this to 35, double the time. Okay. Hmm. That's a lot of volume. And what I'm doing now is opening it directly on GDEX instead of using the Screener, which is useful if you have your wallet connected and you want to buy directly, save some time. Okay, let's open there because we're opening the screens and files. So this is a typical thing on Solana, isn't it? Where something kind of pumps up and then it looks like it's dead and then it kind of starts to slowly recover. Okay, so this is called Billion. There's only a Twitter. Hmm.
What's the trading volume like?
Well, the volume is very high, which is why it caught my eye. It's around 7 million. And the market cap is only 360K, which not great, but expected. Let's have a look. Holders. And it's usually good to check holders to see if anyone's holding anything above 4 or 5% of the token.
Mm.
Generally, as you can see, that the holders aren't too bad. I'm guessing most of them already sold that big curve down. This is a fairly this is what we call like a medium risk. It could carry on the next few hours to the all-time high and go higher, or it could fizzle that out. So let me make some lines here just to keep a track of it. Right?
Mm.
And I generally just do that out of force of habit. Um, because 9 times out of 10, I'll probably forget about these, but I like to come back and remember exactly where it was where I was thinking about buying. So let me then add another line, but it's actually, okay, so let's come back to that. Let's take a look at. Okay, so you see now that because I properly worded my prompt and I've now gotten recommendations for some Solana
Hmm.
tokens. Okay, so the first one, Shikoku. Hmm, interesting. Oh, get the funny feeling there's an Asian meta brewing up again. Okay, these are not pump funds, which is probably good. Let's take a look at this first one. This is already starting to help a bit, but we'll come back to that. Let's take a look here. Okay, well, that's the wrong address. It's Jim. Okay, let's just take okay, so this is an Inu token. It's very confusing because it's called Shikoku, which is in Calm. Hmm. Well, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here, so let's move on to one of the other recommendations. And so I'm skipping the second one because although the volume's good, it's not really, the price change and the general liquidity is not great. Let's take a look at this
So you mean because the volume is only $72,000?
one. I mean, for Solana, although that's a lot of money on Solana, it really isn't a lot. Okay, there seems to be something such statement. Doge, of course. I'm not sure that's the right address. Let's check it. Like Doge. So as you can see there, that's kind of slowly starting to kind of break out and build up momentum again.
Or you're putting in the range?
What I like to do is I like to kind of just visually help kind of see the kind of trajectory that the price is doing roughly because I've learned that Solana is a really volatile chain, and it's usually because you get these really inflated market caps with low liquidity. So they tend to have these very sharp spikes, which, you know, if you're looking purely based on real TA, you might get kind of put off. But when you just kind of visually look at what's going on in terms of growth of a token, distribution, holders, and the amount of cent per bag per holder, which, as you can see, the top two are quite high, but then the rest are roughly what you would expect in the top 20. So the floor there is about 1.4. Average asking, I would say, is 2.2. It peaked at 3.4, currently at 1.9. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where you just kind of buy it and wait for a
Hmm.
tweet from Elon or something to send it to the next spike, which, I wouldn't be surprised in the next, you know, in this kind of period of time if it's kind of closer to this kind of price range, which I guess is about 4 or 5x from where it is now. So that's I would say it's a reasonable gamble at this point, I think.
I see.
Okay, so let's come back to that. Let's take a look and see how Billion is doing. Yeah, as I expected, it's vanity floor slowly going up. Okay, well, let's just put just for posterity, let's put a fund level buy in. So let me take the contract, and now I'm going to go to my GBot. You can do this on the dashboard and on the desktop. I tend to use the Telegram version on my phone because 9 times out of 10 I'll be outside when these tokens are doing really well, and then I can't buy or sell because my computer's at home. So the beauty here is I can at least do that and make some money and not miss out on the gain. So what I'm going to do, let's start, okay, and then drop the contract. Okay, and the good thing about GBot is it kind of gives me a quick rundown of the information, which I should have checked. But sometimes if I'm in a quick hurry to trade and I don't want to check it, then it will actually give me all the information here. Liquidity is locked. You haven't been disabled, black disabled. It's telling me, which is what this red dot is, that the top 10 hold more than 19%, but that's Solana, and that's unfortunately very common. Okay, so I'm going to put in a little buy. So I'm going to click on instrument to buy, type in 0.02, create a transaction, and literally in a blink of an eye, that's it. It's done the transaction, and it's even pinned it for me. So if I want to go back, click on refresh. There's my current buy, and somehow already I'm in profit somehow. So it's good. Let's take a look at the chart again. Okay, good. And what's great about GBot, I've actually got it set up to do a limit sell where when it reaches 100%, it will actually take out my initial,
Mm-hmm.
which is a useful thing to have. I mean, I shouldn't really do it on a small amount like this, but when you're doing large amount
Mm-hmm.
buys, 1 or 2 sold, it's usually a good idea to use that limit sell. So let me actually demonstrate. Let me go to the menu now. I go to, it's actually under limit orders. Yeah, exactly. So as you can see there, it's set to take that profit at that price, but I'm actually going to cancel that. There we go. And like I said, that's just it's such a small buy. I'm just going to leave it to run and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
it will make some money. Start. I generally always do start as a force of habit, just so the bot is refreshed. So whenever I click on the button, um, I'll get an immediate response. The problems with Telegram, if you leave a chat open, sometimes when you push these buttons, it tends to be a bit laggy. So I find that's not a problem with Gbot so much as is a problem with the Telegram API. Okay, so I'm going to click on track your positions. And yeah, there we go. Billions at the top. And it's currently at 11%. Okay, great. I think I can safely sleep on that one. Let's see. Let's go back to Doge. Let's expand this a little bit. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot of volume coming in, so I'm not really going to bother with that one for now. So let's go back to the DEX. Okay, that was billion, which I just put in a buy for. Okay. Windows caught my eye, but it's not locked. So that's kind of
When
a
there's
big.
no lock liquidity, that means there's nothing that remains in the vault, correct?
Um, well, what that means is it's not a case of that there's anything left. What it means is that they haven't locked it. The liquidity hasn't been burnt or locked. And the danger here is that at any moment they could rug pull by just taking out the liquidity and you can't sell the token.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is there was a bad habit. I think it was about 6 or 7 months ago. A lot of the really good alpha launches were done with unlocked liquidity to actually stop people from buying it. And it was basically like an insider thing. Um, so it's a high risk play, messing with these. I don't like to do it because 9 times out of 10 they do actually rug. But let's just take a look, see if we found anything which is worth looking at. Okay, well, that's generally reluctant because these kinds of charts tend to be rug pulls. They just kind of tend to very smoothly go on an up linear, and then you just find that huge red line. So let's not get rug pulled today. Let's skip that. Keep looking. Okay, so we've got YT, which is obviously YouTube. Hmm. Browser. Let's try. Use a different. Let's go to get code. So, working. Okay, got 100%. Okay, so that was a rug pull. Hmm.
Because of that candle.
Yeah, well, there's a huge red spike, and it's also saying that the pool has basically no liquidity, which
Oh, that's awful.
there's not even, as you can see, that there's not even a dollar of liquidity. Very
This
strange.
is a
Very strange.
huge issue. So people, if people would have invested in this, they can't get out if they hold it and they have it in their wallet.
But the concept is, when you have a pair, I have a token and you give me a token. Usually I give, you give someone your Solana and they give you a token, and then to swap it back, there has to be the liquidity. And unfortunately here, there's not even, there's 2 cents of liquidity here. So, and 820 people are holding a token which they cannot sell, unfortunately. So,
Mm.
oh dear. Okay. Not too sure why it's saying that. I'm guessing maybe it's not updated. Unfortunately, Solana, I think, is running a bit laggy today. I've noticed a bit slow. Okay, no.
Would you use it as a rule of thumb to have all those green check marks?
In
Plus
a
the
perfect
volume?
in a perfect world, I would, but I've learned with Solana, it's very common that what happens is because they burn the liquidity, the dev or the team in general want to make sure what they've burnt they can recuperate. So usually they will hold on to a large amount of supply on the off chance that the token doesn't do well, they can at least sell it and get back the pool that they burn.
I see
So
what
it's,
you're saying.
so it's
Hmm.
very rare that you will find that, that this is not, the few times you will find it is where it's like a genuine launch, like a genuine project where they already had funding, so they don't have to worry about holding on to that liquidity.
I see what you're saying.
Something like with this Vine AI, you can see here that the market cap's good, liquidity's good, in regards to the cap. And as you can see there, the top holders are actually, I should actually take a look at that because that does actually look very appealing. So let's just copy that.
Yeah, it's only $500,000, and I know the pool is giving out a lot as well. And I've been seeing it all over the place.
It's a good safe bet, as we say.
Mm.
You can see straight away there, those are very good numbers. You know, I'm guessing by that amount of holders in such a short space of time, that's probably not really a legitimate number there.
Launch.
Yeah, well, not the case of launch. What they will do is they'll spread out the supply over several kind of wallets. So if they
Mm.
have to, that's why you've got that. If I go back to it, if you go here, that's why it's in the top 10 aren't holding, more than 10 or 20% of supply. So what they've done is they split it over all those wallets, basically.
Hmm.
Not to say it's not a good buy, but it's not also a guarantee that this won't rug.
I see.
There's a website. So let's take a look at the website. Because as you pointed out, the website can give you a good indication of
Mm.
how legitimate the project is. Okay, so as you can see there, there's basically nothing here. Well, I don't. This looks like a LARP to me, which is a fake thing, but I'll just ask you a question. Comes to video production, which is not why I asked it at all. So yeah, okay. Well, did give away that this is not a legitimate project.
Mm.
One of the telltale signs is that it's an AI project, but there's no GitHub. Usually, there will be like a GitHub where the dev has posted examples of the code, or at least an example which you can download and try out, as well as a live demo on the website. But this is obviously fake.
Mm.
Okay, so this is yeah, this is going to rug at any point, so let's not take that risk. Still, yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at Hobo.
And that's another one that the bot recommended.
Yeah, I mean it's, it's on the GDX via the filters.
I can't
So,
see what you're seeing anymore, by the way.
oh, okay. Sorry. Hang on. Sorry, I think it clicked off by accident. There we go. Is that working now?
Yes, so you found that as like the next on the list based on the criteria of, let's say it's over like I think you put over 200 minutes. You have, is that the market cap plus the volume of like 500,000?
I set a minimum market cap because usually I've learned that most of those kind of pump fund and other things tend to reach, you know, I forget what the limit is. I think it's like 100K or 80K, and then they will usually dump, and then they either recover or they're dead. So if they recover, then they'll come back close to this kind of range, and it's usually a good range to buy into. So, okay, so let's copy that and go to let's go to what's Hmm. Okay, that's not a bad chart. It's good volume. Um, Hold count's very low, but that can be a good thing. I'm surprised though with that kind of volume that there's only 31 holders. Hmm, very interesting.
Hmm.
So a lot of supply was dropped on launch, which is usually not a good sign. Okay, so there's nothing. There's not even a there's no well no, according to that there is. So let's take a look. So, hmm, very strange meme, I must say.
Yes, I think so. It looks weird that it has all this traction, but then there's only 13 holders. Something's very fishy about it.
Problem is that they're suggesting that there's a game. Um, and let's see if that game will run.
It's just an ad with like a fake bottom, is what it looks like.
Hmm, that's strange. Well, I don't understand these very strange launches with these fake things. You know, it's very peculiar that they would
Hmm.
have that many likes, but then no one's bought the token.
That's right.
No, it's been botted. You know, they pay for the bots to do the fake likes and stuff. But as you said, there's just 31 holders. That's obviously uh, to be fake volume. So let's give that a skip. I think it's not worth the risk. Very strange market gaps. So I should probably go back to that first page because that's where the newer ones will be.
Hmm.
But back here, see official Pranksy token. Hmm.
And you picked this one because of the volume, and what was the other criteria that you used?
Basically, I'm going for, it's a fairly fresh launch. You know, it's 23 minutes, but it's already got such a high amount of volume, and the market cap's already quite good. I mean, the thing is, I always get a little bit kind of worried when you see, for example, here there's 1.87 million volume, but the market cap is only 400. It's usually a bad sign. That means whatever's kind of gone in has gone straight back out. Whereas here, most of this is still here. Very little of it is left, which is usually a good indicator. My only disconcert for this is that doesn't seem to be a website or anything. There's only a Twitter. Twitter. Ambassador and collector of Web3 NFTs. A lot of followers.
How can it have 443,000 followers?
Um, Basically, this is an old account. He joined in 2014. So he's basically what you would call an OG. Been in the space probably for about
Mm.
10 years. And but the thing is, he's an NFT guy. Um, oh, here we go. Exactly as what I expected. Imagine making a fake meme coin in my name and not even sending me any. Because this is the current meta, unfortunately. There's been all these launches
Yes,
using,
of coins of memes that are not affiliated with the people. I've been
yeah,
noticing that too.
you had
Mhm.
Ansem yesterday, I think, and then you had Poe, and then there was a couple of others. They do well for about 20 or 30 minutes. Then the guy who they're related to tweets that I didn't launch it, it's not mine, I've got nothing to do with it. And then usually it does very badly.
Mhm.
So, I'm guessing, mm, despite the volume and, these candles, I'm guessing this probably is going to run for the next 10 or 20 minutes. So, it's too bad. Oh, okay, that's why.
There's two.
There's two
There's
of them,
two of
yeah.
them.
The contracts are completely different. That first one I was looking at was actually not the one that was referenced, the pump fund one. So, well, both are fake and not worth our time. Click on the wrong one. Montana, there we go. Tony Montana. Uh, is another guy from Scarface.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the name I think of Pacino's character from the movie Scarface. I mean,
Okay.
it's a very peculiar. Yeah, exactly. It's a very peculiar meme choice. Terrible meme. Volume's good. Quality's okay.
I'm actually gonna have to get going shortly,
I was
but
gonna say,
um, you know what? Maybe what would be good is like, because you're going through this with me, so at least there's a couple criteria that I have from this,
go
you know,
ahead.
moving forward. But at the same time, maybe just offhand message me whenever you've actually found something that you're going to invest in so you can do like a live demo kind of thing. Like
Okay.
I'm usually working, so I mean, maybe not tomorrow because it's Sunday, but I mean like during the week, next week, other than Tuesday and Friday, um, I can meet with you. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So just kind of
Cool.
like shoot me a message on Telegram and be like, can you hop on a call in the next little bit? And I think that will help us close it off. I mean, I have a lot from this too. I'm just gonna stop.